All right, gang, it is good to talk to you here on the flip side of the weekend. Sorry it's taking me so long I'm rubbing my image here, or my camera there. I'm sorry it took me so long to get a message out to you, but I was getting formally observed earlier this week, something that teachers have to go through, at least in our district, every couple of years. And so that was really the bulk of what I was focusing on then. Not a big deal, because today is a perfect day to contact you, because we are now at the place where you're going to share your poem with the world, or at least to our class and our groups at this point. So one poem, and we're going to look at that criteria in just a little bit. Let me hop over to the class and then talk you through some of that here in just a little bit. So here we are. I'm in actually the Module 3 introduction, because I wanted to kind of show you the schedule here. And if you look at the schedule, let me blow this up just a little bit so you can see it a bit better. You'll see that day 10, that is Wednesday today, which I'm creating this video for you. Poetry Workshop, you should have a poem submitted to Poetry Workshop. You should be through all 5 lessons at this point for this module. And all you should have left is the workshop. If you don't, you're a little bit behind. The more important thing is that by midnight today, you have a poem that's submitted for workshop. Well, let's take a look at what that poem should actually be. So if you go back and I scroll down, I'm in personal narrative here, but if I scroll down to the poems and go to the poetry critique, you'll see that you're submitting either your images poem, your mental images poem, or your metaphor poem to workshop. So let's take a look at that. So you're going to choose either your images, mental images poem, or metaphor poem that you wrote for Module 3 and submit it through the forum. Please label it as such so we know which one it is that you submitted. That's going to make it easier to read. Then by, this is day 12 of the module, so by Friday, you should have read every poem that's submitted into your section. And then after you read the poems, you want to create a new post titled with your first last name. That's when you respond. Remember, you're still looking for 2 areas that you want to improve and 2 areas that they thought they did well, and you need to reference specifics in the poem. That's something that some of you lost points on the last time, is that you didn't reference specifics, or it wasn't clear that you were talking about 2 different areas that they did well on and 2 areas that they could improve on. Titles are important when you play into poems, so consider that as well. And then the whole revision process, you're putting this on one document. Some of you missed that the last time when I said it. You're going to put the revised poem at the top of the document. Underneath, you'll put the unrevised, and then you're going to talk about 3 areas in a paragraph below that you revised in that piece of writing. And I have some examples and so on here, and you can go back to the personal narrative workshop and look at, really the way you structure the critiques is the same way. Remember that it does need to meet the criteria for an images, mental images, or metaphor poem, and make sure that you do that. So I think that's it. I don't have a lot more I need to say. The key thing is that you get that stuff up. At this point, no one submitted to this first one, and I don't know if anyone submitted to the next one yet or not. And one person, Rachel, has submitted. So we have time. You have till midnight tonight, and hopefully this helps give you a little bit of direction when we talk about this course.